And hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Athios Windrunner here, and today, on our first look of what I'm going to be doing here on this channel, we are playing something that I've been enjoying for some time now, ever since I found out about it, and since I've been diving into these simulator slash housing slash create your little world games here. This game is called Farthest Frontier, made by Crate Entertainment. If you're familiar with any of their other gaming products like Grim Dawn, most famously. I myself played a little bit of it, but never was able to get into it like Diablo, for instance. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for participating here in this video. I myself, like I said, wanted to just do a quick introduction. As I said, my name is Athios Windrunner, and on this channel, we're going to be doing a whole bunch of different things. Mostly just things to keep myself sane, to be perfectly honest with you folks. So we're going to be talking about a lot of the things that I'm interested in, a lot of the games that I play. Might have some World of Warcraft on here, might have some more Farthest Frontier, Skyrim. Really just games that give you that warm feeling inside, you know what I mean? So, on this channel as well, I also want it to be a place where, after a long day of work, I could just come here, say hello to everybody, and just try and unwind from the day. So, on these videos and on these times that I speak with you guys, nothing but peace and love to everyone. A lot of hatred out in the world right now, a lot of crazy things going on out in the world. And I think tonight and today is now as good as any day, I should say, to continue to bring peace and positivity to people. So, with that being said, thank you for joining me. I do appreciate it. We're going to be diving into some more of this right now. Let's see what's going on. I'll bring you guys up to speed. So, as I said, this is Farthest Frontier. It's a game that's focused on colony simulator slash building up your town. In this case, I have already done some work here off screen. I'm currently at Tier 2 for Town Center, which means that I have a wide variety of different buildings that I can build to, spice things up. So in this case right now, I'll give you a quick little showdown here as well of my breakdown in terms of industry sectors, residential sectors, and things like that. So right here, highlighted, this is my residential sector. I'm trying to keep residential sectors away from the industrial sectors only because, as you can see here, in this game there is a desirability measure. And one of the ways that you keep that high, for example, I'll just hover over here, you basically want to have buildings that increase desirability. Things like, for example, a school. Very important to have a school. Looks great, by the way. I gotta also be honest with you guys. I really enjoy the architecture of these buildings. The simplicity of how it looks and also the progression as you go through each tier. I just genuinely love it. I also gotta be honest and say that I really like the way that these buildings look, especially when, again, like progression-wise, you see it. This is a great comparison here. This is the temporary shelter or the base beginner housing building for your future residents, and this is the upgraded version, as you saw a second ago here. It's known as a homestead. Now the last, I believe, tier is a large house, and that looks really cool. It looks actually very modern, so it's kind of looking like what you would find out in a residential suburban area. I myself live in a very highly urbanized area, so that type of architecture is something I'm very familiar with. So things like markets, for example, also increase desirability, and as well, they give you income. So gold is your essential currency to buy things, and eventually, in the amenities and services, which you'll see here, there's actually a trading post, which you can build Apologies, that looked really small and obstructed by the road. Okay. So this trading post allows you to have basically random traders come to your basically society, and they'll have always an inventory of things. There are some specific things that are only for selling for the AI, and then same vice versa with the buying. So it's important to keep in mind based on the resources that your society has. And then see like, all right, well, obviously I've got an excess of smoked meat here. So if I wanted to sell some of it to make sure that some of it doesn't get spoiled, or if it, even if it is cured, it will spoil after a while. So it's important to keep that in mind. So in my situation, as I said, my society is still very much proto, in the sense that I don't really have a lot of things here yet. However, I am going to build this trading post for the sake of showing you guys what we're talking about here. And always very important to have roads. However, I don't think this is going to work out, even though it says it will. Yeah, I don't think it's, I think it's too short. Too short. So we'll go ahead and connect it this way. And once that gets built, which, let me actually remember what this needs. Okay, I actually have all of this, so this is perfect. So we're going to go ahead and build this. And one of the next thing I'm going to show you guys as well is one of the new parts of the 0.09 update that they came out with, which I was lucky enough, well, lucky, everybody was able to do this after they announced it. They gave everybody an open beta test. So this basically gave everybody what they wanted in terms of newer content to add to the game. And in this respect, one of the new concepts that they added was the spirituality mechanic, which is, I should hesitate in saying it's religion. It isn't. It very much just is focused on, as I said, spirituality. And that's really how they've marketed it. The way that this functions is once you build this temple, or even honestly before that, you're looking for these relics. I myself, when I was scoping out this area, I didn't find any of the places. I'm not sure if I looked hard enough. It's potentially possible I did not, knowing me. So I gotta basically just look for one of these ruins, and you can once you find a set of ruins, you can excavate that ruin, and once you're done excavating it, it will give you a relic to put into your temple. And each relic has its own buff / debuff. It kind of works as a positive and negative system in the sense that some relics are better than others in this respect that they function more to your benefit as opposed to your detriment. So it's important to keep that in mind, that in a map, you may be relegated to just one relic, and that one relic may not be great. However, and this is also very important, and I'm glad that they added this into the game, despite that system, the traders, as I mentioned before, they actually will sometimes have relics on them. Warning, they are extremely expensive. We're talking like in the 2000s plus. So realistically, you're going to have that gold much later on, because as you can see here, as you upgrade the desirability of the houses of the areas, this allows you in turn to then quote unquote tax the homesteads. So they give me money. And this is also true as you upgrade each house. So it's very cool to see that there's ways to make money. You're not necessarily just relying on, spamming markets everywhere. And even if doing that isn't actually necessarily a good idea, as you can see here, the range that these things exist in, they increase desirability for those that are in that range. However, if it's already being affected by that desirability, building another one doesn't affect it. Okay, great. And speaking of traders, now that we have ours built and it is up and running, we have a trader. So it looks like this Atka of the Iron Clan has some things for us. So as you can see here, the arrows pointing right indicate sell only. So this AI is specifically looking for clothes, shoes, candles, pottery, beer, gold, and that's it. And then for the things that we can buy from her, we can buy smoked fish, weapons, heavy tools, shields, hauberks, which I believe is a form of heavy armor of some sort. I think. I'm not sure, actually. We can buy iron ore from her, and we can buy crude weapons. And this is what I was talking about. Look at that price, guys. 4,016 gold. And this is exactly what I'm talking about as well. You can see here that if you were to buy this and put this in your temple, this would increase blacksmiths and armorers by 20% increased speed, which honestly is great. I play this game in the pacifist mode. I really just enjoy building up cities. And in fact, if I can show you guys here in a few minutes, I might be able to... This is another city that I've got running. I'll show you probably my most advanced city at the moment, ranging over 400 plus citizens. So we'll probably pop over to that here in the next few minutes after I do a couple more things here. So that's really what I'm talking about. So in this case, I would love to sell some clothes, but because I know that my citizens are already complaining that they don't have enough as it is, I don't want to do that. Yeah, realistically here, it doesn't really look like I can do much. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out this worker. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to take out this worker from the trade. Oh, there's another trader coming in. I guess let's see what this person wants. There we go. Okay, what does Trader 2 want? Trader 2... Yeah, the one thing that I have in abundance, the freaking medicinal herbs, and this guy is selling it at way below market value. It's not even freaking worth it. Ugh, what a disgrace. All right, so again, Endeavor is not working out too well. Oh, okay. This right here, guys, this is an absolutely fantastic relic. So what I'll show you guys is, since we're talking about it, these... Oh, I totally forgot about this guy. So these are the hunter cabins. So the hunter cabins, basically, as are pretty self-explanatory, they're hunter cabins. So these individuals go out hunt, and depending on the type of animal that they hunt, they will get more meat, pelts, and tallow. So in this case, because I'm playing in pacifist mode, I guess the boars are not available. I'm assuming it's because they are considered like they're aggro focused. And also, I should mention, I forgot to mention in this game isn't, when I mentioned a pacifist mode, that is just one facet of this game. This game is actually kind of like an RTS in some ways. If you're familiar with Age of Mythology, major throwback, I may have just identified myself age-wise. If you're familiar with Age of Empires, that type of RTS idea, those mechanics are very prevalent. You will be raided by raiders occasionally. So, as you can see here in the build menu, I'm going to pop over here to the resources. We have the capacity to build things like armories, things like, where's the blacksmith forge, weapons. It's important to keep that in mind. And again, this is also why I play in pacifist mode, not to minimize the amount of things that's already going on, because as you can see here, this game can get very chaotic very quickly if you're not expecting it. So it's interesting. Rip whoever that was. Can we zoom in? Oh no, this person's just dead. Thank God I already built the graveyard. So, give me 1 second, guys. Apologies, just had some family members come in. I didn't want you guys to hear that conversation. Alright, so, popping back over here. So, yeah, this game can get very complicated, so I do have a save that is fully compatible, like with the full game, with including like the invasions and things like that. And I gotta be honest, I do really just very much enjoy, playing this game and just building, just building a nice little society, and just something easy. Something I should also mention as well, by the way, is that their farming mechanic is very interesting. So as we're looking at this menu here, you have 3 different seasons or crop rotations for one farm. Okay, and each farm, you want to make it so that, and this is, I when I read some guides on it, I figured it was going to be something along these lines. I'm not a farmer IRL. I have some idea about crop rotation because I'm a history major. I'm an amateur historian. I have an understanding historically of what it meant to rotate your crops. But I didn't necessarily think about it so in depth. And so I'll give you guys an idea of what I'm talking about here. So we're going to click on this. These are the different, vegetables, plants that you can plant and have in your farm. And each of them function in a different way. So, for example, flax. By the way, this, the marker or the indicator for flax changed. So this used to be kind of like what this looked like, the wheat, but it was blue. It's kind of like green, blue, grainy. It was really cool. It was weird. So they changed this back to flax, and flax functions to make clothes. So everything kind of ties back into itself, which is something I do really enjoy about this game. So we'll pop over to the weaver shop, if I can remember where I put it. That's the archer, that's the forager. Where is the weaver? Oh, Lord heaven. Here we go, weaver. Okay, so this building right here, which, by the way, if you swing over to the front, you can see clothes and all that stuff. I really do like the nuance of all of this. It's so cool. So, as you can see, per one worker, 10 flax is required to make one clothing. So with that being said and kept in mind, okay, one of the things that you want to do, and I'm going to need to change this to make it a little bit more efficient, you want to have each farm that you have kind of giving you resources kind of like per rotation. So every rotation in one of your farms, you should be receiving, for example, flax. So, for example, in this top right one, okay, this rotation does not have flax. However, it has buckwheat. Now that I'm already at tier 2, I should have done this earlier, but I've been focusing on other things. By the time you hit tier 2, you have access to the bakery, which gives you bread, which is another food source, which also helps your population increase their desirability. Also, because in certain cases, to upgrade them from a shelter to a homestead, they require, and I'll show you guys that as well, they require different food types. So as you can see here, this shelter has 3 out of 2 food types, the 1 herbs it needs, basic, a well, and the town center being tier 2. However, the only thing that this is missing is just 2 more desirability points, which realistically I could easily solve by just planting like a garden somewhere right there. Totally easy to do, not a problem. However, it does cost money, so you do have to keep that in mind. So, going back to the farms. So in this case, I'd want to edit this farm so that at some point in this rotation, I'm getting flax. It may end up being that I change the buckwheat here to flax. And that way, again, just to keep the flax stores healthy, need to make sure that that stays up. And at some point, we're also going to be adding more farms. These aren't the only farms that we're going to be adding. Oh, goodness, excuse me. But we're going to keep it on the, as you can see here, this is the fertility scale. So you want to keep your farmland as fertile as possible, obviously. However, like for example, as you can see here, there are random pockets of fertility. So it may end up being that at some point I designate this not a residential area if I move down, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing. And I'll expand this way for the farms. I may end up expanding this way a little bit more residentially, but I probably am going to move myself down. Or maybe use this for farms. You know, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Realistically, too, what I could do is I could move this granary to a different side, maybe something like over here, and then expand these two farms out this way, remove this road and like these three buildings, and then just let the farms expand out that way, because you can do that. You are able to do that, and I think it just needs to be a 5x5. So legitimately, all I have to do in this situation is just move the dirt road over a couple meters and expand the two farms out more. And as you do that, it's also important to mention that your workers will need to increase to maintain that farm. And one thing that I'm pretty bad about, I will fully admit to you guys here, that I'm very bad about seasonally keeping the labor kind of strong. So we can pull up here. I'm low on laborers at the moment. Mostly because you can see here, every job that has a job, and they are doing their things. However, laborers are needed to, for example, clear resources, harvest resources, and bring resources to building sites. That is the function of a laborer in this game. Builders only function as building the required thing that they need to build. After they've done that task, they go back to their other task. So to have like a healthy balance between laborer and farmer, incredibly important. Incredibly important. So I'm probably not going to deal with that now, although probably now would be the best time to do that. So let's go ahead and move the granary here first. I am going to have to move this basic well, which is a bit disappointing. Where was this? This was getting 63? Oh, actually, I can get... that's going to be a problem. Yeah, I think I'm going to just have to take the bullet here and place the well here at 63, or 62, I should say. Yeah, because there's, I mean, for me to move this, you know, especially since this is, oh, this is actually not doing too much. So I guess it doesn't matter if I put it here. Yeah, okay, let's just go ahead and do that. Later on, if we need to, we can always move it and do it again. It's no problem. Okay, yes, it is a little cold for my peoples. I believe people have clothes? Sort of. Yeah, worn out clothes. Alright. Atheos has got to get up that flax production. So I think now that we're talking about it, now would probably be the best time to get that flax under control. In fact, actually, what I might do actually is build, instead of expanding these, build 2 more and make these purely devoted to flax, and then change these other ones to wheat. I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, because there's this other building that I also really like, by the way. I think you guys might like it too. I don't know. For anybody out there that, you know, likes fruit, this building is the Arborist. I love this building. So the Arborist is basically somebody who tends to orchards. Apple. So in this game, we have access to apple, peach, and pear. My general setup is 1 of each. And then once I get access to... excuse me. Goodness gracious. Okay. Terribly sorry about that. So yeah, once you have access to glass, which... and the Preservist building, which is down here in Tier 3, you'll have access to making preserves, marmalade, things like that. And this allows you to keep your fruit a lot longer. So in my past playthroughs, I've built this building out outright, but I think in this scenario, I'm going to wait. I mean the Arborist, by the way. I'm going to wait until I have access to both of these things, so that by the time the Arborist fully grows the trees, I already have glass and glassware waiting, which is something that I'm going to need to do soon, by the way, because the glassmaker is tier 3. So I want to, by the time I get to 150 population and have 25 homesteads, I want to have an absolute butt ton of sand so that I can just immediately start converting that into glassware. Because once I have all that glassware, I make the arborist, I make the preservist building, and boom, Bob's your uncle. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and do this. And I always like to leave one space so that yes. So that way when I can do this. This is always cool. Boom. And then we're going to pop over here. Oh. Oh, right. I have to. Right. Okay. Okay. And then we're going to pop this all the way over here. Okay. One thing I also haven't had to deal with, by the way, that luckily I haven't had to, but in some cases, these pesky deer have made my life an absolute donkey because these truckers like to come over here and eat on your crops. And if you don't have a fence to cover the crops, they will eat it. I'm telling you, they will go over there and they will freaking eat it. In fact, you know what? Now that I was talking about the glass and the sand, I'm going to actually go ahead and build that sand place now. And yes, this is fine. Actually, is it? Yeah, I guess this is fine. Yeah, okay. This is fine. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop this dirt road here and connect it to this, and we'll be okay for now. Oh, there's a house on fire. I literally didn't even see that. I'm sure you guys were probably yelling at the screen. He's got a house on fire! I didn't even notice. You know, I'm not sure why certain buildings go on fire. I know that if you build a smokehouse... Uh-oh. Is this keeping up with... No, it is not keeping up with demand. Okay, I'm going to have to build another smokehouse. Bear with me 1 second, guys. I apologize. Also, I want to figure I'd give you this fair warning now. I'm severe ADHD, if y'all haven't figured that out yet. So I'm going to be very distracted and very all over the place, so please bear with me. So yeah, it looks like this smokehouse here isn't really keeping up with demand anymore. So we're going to need to build another smokehouse. And we're going to designate this one purely the meat smokehouse. We're going to need to prioritize this, please. And make it so that this other smokehouse can just worry about, whatever residual meat is left over and focus on the fish, because it seems to be doing a good job with that. Also, I should also mention, if there are people who have played this game before out there watching this video, thank you for joining, by the way. Do appreciate that. If you have any recommendations or any strategies about the smokehouse to reduce the travel time, that'd be great, because I have the majority of what meat should be smoked and things like that here. However, I'm still unclear if... Ooh, this is already done. Okay. I'm still unclear if the... when the hunter cabins butcher the meat, do they themselves have to transport it to... Like, for example, this guy has 81 of 120 storage, right? So, does that mean that this meat is just going to stay there until he hits that storage? And then once he hits the storage, the hunter will take it to the root cellar? Again, if anybody out there is watching this and has been playing Farthest Frontier and has some sort of strategy on this... Oh, crap, it just went down. Did y'all see that? I didn't catch that because I was talking. Either way, if y'all do have a strategy on that, please let me know. Feel free to put it in the comments here below. I do appreciate it. Yeah, man, I've been struggling with this for some time now, and I'm still unclear as to how to upkeep. See what I'm saying? Like, look at this. Travel 91%. This guy's right next to him at 66. Well, what is the... See, he already got 100. I'm so very... Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, whoa, whoa, where are you going? Where the absolute hell are you going? Yo, this wagon just stole my meat. Is this motherfucker really bring... Excuse my language, I terribly apologize. Is this guy taking this to the temporary storage? Why is he taking this to the temporary storage? If he puts this in temporary storage... Okay, now that makes a whole bunch of sense. Tell me why that functions that way. That makes no sense. That makes zero sense. Why did it do that? So because the temporary shelter is considered a house, the wagon shop prioritizes that straight from the meat, even though this guy here is the one that needs to process it? Okay, he's stalking the smokehouse. Let's see where he goes. I think he walked over from the... Yeah, he walked over from the... Oh, that's... Atheos is a moron. Please do not pay attention to me. I said this was only going to be for meat. Also, I speak Spanish. For anybody out there who speaks Spanish, please ignore my terrible language. Again, I apologize. I'm going to try and keep the foul language to a minimum, folks. I do apologize for that. I'm just trying to understand what the mechanic is, like how the AI is functioning here. I haven't really ever taken the time out to really look at this. So he needs to go to right. So he's going to go here, get the firewood, and then he's going to just start smoking. But he's smoking... Oh, that's right. He already had 100 meat storage. All right, so here, how about this? For now, you're going to do that. Okay. But after you smoke this meat, this fish, I should say, you're done. Okay, here, how about this? You're done. That fish is just going to sit there. Hopefully that doesn't cause a fire. Yeah, because I'm trying to understand. See, again. Oh, okay. No. He's driving the wagon. This is what he transported last year. This is a trader. That's why I can't click on him. Again, this meat is just going to sit here. This is really frustrating. And I only even built the temporary shelter out here, guys, because of the mine. But to be perfectly frank, it doesn't really seem to be getting much traction. So I don't actually think I need this. So yeah, I don't think I need this. We are approaching the time limit that I wanted to send for this. So you know what? All right. So I promised you guys that we were gonna look over the bigger one. So let's go ahead and check out that bigger map, and then we will call it a day for this first video. Which one we were looking at? Yes. This is... See, I have these two ones here. I'm just trying to figure out which one I'd rather show you. I mean, they're both pretty the same. Yeah, okay. So this one has 475 population. I don't know if anybody else saw that in the load screen, but I did have a playtime of close to 10 hours. So that is what happens when you do that. Okay, let's see what we've got going on here. If it decides to load. So, as we're waiting for this game to load, again, thank you everyone very much for taking the time out today and watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, this is an introductory video here to the channel here of Atheos Windrunner. And if you like the content, if you like what you're seeing, if you want to hang out some more, feel free to drop a like and drop a subscribe. I do appreciate it very, very much. And again, the focus of this channel is mostly a social channel just to get the brain flowing and keep the positivity going. Doing a whole bunch of things here, gaming, talking about sports, mostly football/soccer. If you're out there, Manchester United, that's my team. We're going in. Yeah, we're basically just going to be enjoying ourselves here. All right. So, all right, folks. So here we are. Welcome to, I believe this is known as Dalmasca. I believe that was the name of the city that I decided to call this. I honestly don't remember. Either way, so here we are. This is Tier 4. As you can see, we're a little laggy. There's a whole bunch of things going on here. So we're going to try and break this down one by one. So this is my town center. As you can see, it is Tier 4. It is the highest tier possible. And it looks like a gem. I absolutely love the way that this looks. It looks beautiful. Right behind me here is the upgraded town center. I also love the way this looks. This looks beautiful. I love the architecture here. Let's see. Oh, we have an apothecary shop being built here. Okay. I forgot what that does. Oh, yes. So, if you remember from the previous town I was playing at, Waffle Socket, you notice that a lot of the storage buildings were Tier 1. These is an example of the upgraded storage house. This is known as a warehouse now. And as you can see, after a certain point, you have access to let me see if I can find him. Cooper. Where's the Cooper? Here we go. Access to the Cooper. Now, a Cooper, I didn't actually know this. I had to do some research. A Cooper is essentially a barrel maker, as you see here. And these guys take wood planks and iron bars, ingots, however you want to call it, and they essentially make them into barrels. And the barrels in this game function, as you would probably imagine, they help maintain things for a longer time. So because I have 5 barrels here, this reduces spoilage up to 25%. Pretty nice indeed. Since we're talking about upgraded things looking nice, this is the upgraded market. This looks absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love the way this looks. The feeling is very much rustic. It's very much frontier-esque market. And it reminds me very much of some of the medieval historical shows, like The Borgias is a great example of this. You'll see stalls that look out like that. Same with The Tudors. If anybody else out there saw The Tudors, another great show. Great show. John Rhys Meyers as the King of England is a gem. And if you guys remember, I mentioned that the best house was a large house. I am terribly sorry. I was wrong. It is a manor. And look at the way this looks. Tell me that this doesn't look absolutely fantastic. I think I'd really like to live here. I love the way that this looks in terms of the aesthetic. These are things that I built, by the way. These little gardens here. So these are aesthetic things. They didn't come standard with the house. I had to add them to increase the desirability. Perfect. So as you can see here, large house versus a manor. You could see the difference in the roof as well as the overall architecture. This has very standardized, like house features. But when you look at the manor, you get some real house features there. This is like, something you would live in today. I really like the way this looks. Same thing here, school. I don't think the school gets upgraded at all. I think it just stays the same. But I do like the way that this looks. I believe this gets upgraded when you upgrade your town center because this was not here before. having some outdoor lessons with the kiddos. Do really enjoy that. Let's see. What else? Do I have anything else here to show you guys? Nothing really. A lot of this stuff is just the upgraded stuff that you guys saw from the first game that I showed you, or for the first city I showed you. So this is the upgraded of the root cellar. Bricks pretty much just make this a lot better. And with the Coopers, as you can see here, having way more Coopers, 50% spoilage reduction. Very, very handy. One thing I did not show you yet was the theater. So this is the upgraded theater. As you can see, it's known as a grand theater. And this is, at some point, one of the things you'll have to build to upgrade your town center. I believe from 3 to 4. You have to build a theater. And also, another thing you have to build, which I believe should be... Here we go. One of my favorite buildings. A pub. It's a great little building. I love the way that, like I said, I really do like the aesthetic for all of these buildings. The aesthetic for all of these buildings is just so nice. I don't know, the simplicity of it all is just really appealing to me. And then let me show you guys as well, because I didn't get a chance to show you that in the previous one. There is a... Okay, I'm building another theater there just to keep people from moving from this area. Let me see. I'm looking for 2 specific buildings that I didn't get a chance to show you. Actually, I'm going to actually take the time out real quick within these last 5 minutes here to show you guys the arborist. And, aha, here we go. So here's the arborist. Lovely little building. And these guys, like I said, they're in charge of the orchards. You see all these guys out here with all the trees. Peach tree, apple trees, pear trees. There you go, pear trees. It's all really, really cool. This is the glass maker. So, like I said, whenever you get access to the glass maker, uses sand, makes glass, used for the Preservis building, which I think, if my memory serves me correct, is this little building right here. So you can see, kind of, you know, you have the sign here at the top for the Preservis. Again, I'm going to keep continuously saying this. I really like the way that this looks. It just, something about it just really speaks to me. I do have another arborist, it looks like. I'm not sure why this was moved, because this is supposed to include all of these. So that's that. Okay. And let's see. Is there anything else I wanted to show you guys? I don't think there was. Oh, the soap. Yes, I wanted to show you guys the brewery. So this is the brewery. So they turn the wheat and the honey, which, by the way, any mead drinkers out there will know what I'm talking about when I say this. Feel like they missed out on an opportunity here. Feel like beer should be wheat and then honey should be mead, because that is typically how it goes, at least from what I understand. I tried mead a couple of times. Spicy. It's good though. Very good. Strong. That'll knock you on your face. Knock you on your face very, very quickly. Yes, I forgot to tell you. So I did mention you guys about the bread. Here's the bakery. And the windmill, of course, for the flour. And the last building here before we sign off here tonight. Not this one, because we already know what this is. Oh, furniture workshop. This is cool. I really like this. Making chairs, tables, all this stuff. You can actually see them working. That's cool. The cheese maker. Gotta have that cheese. And where is that darn soap maker? It has to be here. Here we go. Here we go. Here you go. So, soap. Very, very, very important. Gotta have that soap. Well, all right, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in. I do appreciate it, as I've said before. I hope you guys have an absolutely wonderful day. Be safe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Ciao.